So there's this content creator, I don't know if you've heard of him, called Jay Schlatt, often just shortened to Schlatt. He's done a variety of content from gaming videos to podcasts to Reddit videos, etc., etc. However, he recently gained popularity over his amazing singing voice when he covered Frank Sinatra's My Way. From that, he decided to release a full Christmas cover album titled A Very 1999 Christmas. This is a reference to the heinous atrocities he committed back in '99 that caused the deaths of hundreds of people. Schlatt adamantly denies this involvement, but we all know the truth about it, as well as the truth about his ties to what would happen 2 years later on September 11th, 2001. But anyways, I listened to the full album and thought, what better way to get into the holiday spirit than to rank these songs from worst to best, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting at the bottom in 8th place, dead last, is Baby It's Cold Outside. Now my complaint with this song is that it just functionally doesn't work. This song is designed to be a duet between two people, usually a man and a woman, but hey, it's 2024, I wouldn't mind if we got a gay version of the song. In this duet, one person is trying to leave, while the other is convincing them to stay, against their will, and refuses to take no for an answer. Schlatt's version of the song fails on two principles. One is that I just don't really like the song. The other is that the female part of the song doesn't sound like it's sung by just one woman. Maybe it's just me or the way the woman sings or the mixing on the song, but it sounds like at least two voices to me, and it kind of loses that duet quality of it. But even if it is just one woman, I would still rate this one the lowest. I don't really think the woman singing complements Schlatt's voice that well, and the backing track is pretty bland. I would have loved it if he got another content creator to do it with him, but ultimately he didn't, and that feels like a missed opportunity in my opinion. This is the only song on the album I actively avoid listening to. In 7th place, we have Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. This is another case of me just not really caring for the song. Can you tell I'm not a fan of romantic Christmas songs yet? But yeah, I think this song works better because Schlatt's voice works well, just alone in the background with the instrumentation. Speaking of the music, it's pretty good on this one. The flutes and piccolos are pretty good, and the piano adds a very atmospheric feel to the song. I don't hate it, I don't actively avoid it, very serviceable. In 6th place we have White Christmas. I actually don't mind this song, and I think Schlatt does a good job covering it. His vocals are great, but once again, I don't really care for the background singers on this one, and the whistling part's a little silly. I know there's whistling on the original version, but I feel like it comes out of nowhere and isn't consistent, and happens once and then never again. It feels out of place on both versions, honestly. I feel bad that I keep bashing the background vocalist, but honestly, Schlatt just blows them out of the water. They aren't bad, it's just that Schlatt is so good that they seem lackluster in comparison. This one was kind of a tough choice, but ultimately White Christmas had to take 6th place. Next up in 5th place is Happy Holiday. This is a more upbeat Christmas song, which Schlatt does fine at, but I think he really shines in the slower, more crooner type songs. Funny enough, Schlatt has said that he actually liked recording the more swinging type songs better as opposed to the slower songs, which he said took longer and more takes because, according to him, he can't sing. I would say quite the contrary. I think Schlatt has an amazing voice, and I wish he would use it more for the slower songs because personally I like those better. So this song isn't bad, just not what I think Schlatt does best. Also, I don't hate the background singers on this one, so there's that. Next up in 4th place is The Christmas Song. This one is a Schlatt solo with backing piano and strings, and it sounds wonderful. It really puts you in the atmosphere of the lyrics Schlatt is singing. This song isn't even one of my particular favorites, but Schlatt absolutely knocks this one out of the park. I can imagine myself listening to this sitting next to a fire while grasping a mug of peppermint hot chocolate with both hands on Christmas Eve. The acoustic string solo later in the song also is very beautiful. Everything about the song was executed excellently. I feel bad putting it halfway down the list, but the competition is really stiff. Honestly, I feel like 4th through 2nd could fluctuate on any given day, but this is just where I would put it as of writing this script. Time for the top 3. In 3rd place, we have It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. This song is really solid in all aspects. Schlatt's vocals are great. I actually enjoy the background vocalist on the song for the first time on this album. The instrumental part is very good. It really makes the song flow well. It feels more like a full song, with all the parts succeeding where they need to. I also enjoy this song. It's usually one I listen to around the holiday season, and I think Schlatt does an excellent rendition of it. This one puts you more in the upbeat, happy holiday mood, as opposed to the Christmas song, which gets you in a holiday spirit more in a somber kind of way. Both are equally valid, but I think I would see myself listening to It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year more often, which is why it gets the number 3 spot. Number 2 has to go to Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This song is a classic, it'll always be a banger, and Schlatt doesn't change it being certifiably great. It's an excellent start to the album and really puts you in the Christmas mood. I really like the trumpets, both with straight mutes and without. I might be a little biased since I played trumpet for 7 or 8 years in school, but the trumpets are great throughout the whole song. The trumpet solos are great, and even when they're just supporting, they are amazing. The straight muted trumpets and the saxophones really give it that vintage feel, like something my grandparents would have listened to in their prime. It really evokes that Christmas nostalgia, and overall just succeeds at everything and more. So, by process of elimination, the number 1 spot goes to Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This song is the pinnacle of Schlatt's singing capabilities. His crooning is top-notch, and the subtle additions by the background vocalists really add to this song. The instruments are absolutely heavenly, especially the piano and the string section. This song takes those earlier feelings of sitting by a fire with hot chocolate, but it shifts them from being somber in a contemplative way to being somber in a more comforting way. Like listening to this can just cure all of your worries and stresses, at least for the moment. And on top of that, can we talk about the sax solo? That saxophone goes absolutely nasty in the most amazing way possible. It actually reminds me of when I was little and would listen to Kenny G to go to sleep. So I guess it evokes some childhood nostalgia in that aspect. This is an amazing way to close out the album, and it definitely makes it memorable, that's for sure. I know Schlatt said that making the album was expensive, but I hope we get more Christmas albums from Schlatt. If I could suggest some songs, I would love to hear Schlatt cover Here Comes Santa Claus and A Holly Jolly Christmas on a theoretical A Very 1999 Christmas Volume 2. But yeah, that's my ranking. Let me know your guys' ranking in the comments. And I'll leave you off with a question. Would you rather have unlimited bacon, but no games? Or games, unlimited games, and no games? It's a tough one. Think about it. I'll see you in the next video.